Hi, in this video, we are going to talk about my consumer price index and how we can use it to determine the inflation rate. We are going to use my weekly shopping basket. In this basket, we can find the following good: coffee, apple juice, milk, onions, eggs, oranges, tomatoes, grapes, and bananas, and wine. Those are items that I buy on weekly basis.
Basis? Hmm.
And this spreadsheet right here shows also yes the items in the shopping basket and also the unit prices and the quantities that I'm buying on weekly basis. So week one is shown on the first column, and week two, week three, and week four. And the table also shows that on the I spent $41.40 for the first week buying these items. And we can see on week two there is a slight decrease, which is 39.60, and week three the price still decreasing, which is $38. And in week four, we can see that there is a slight increase here to $40.60. So these we're gonna use this table to determine my consumer price index on weekly basis, and also at the same time we are going to determine the inflation rate as which is the percentage of the change in the price.
Mama.
There we go. So the consumer price index, the formula that we're going to use today is the ratio of the cost of the CPI market basket at the current week, which is the week. Here we calculate the base week and also, and the cost of the CPI market basket of the base week, and we multiply it by 100 to get the percentage. So the cost of CPI market basket at the base week is $41.40, as it was shown in the spreadsheet we just discussed. And always remember that on a base week, the base period, the CPI is always 100, because when you divide 41.40 by 41.40, and that comes to 1, and 1 times 100, which is 100. So now we're going to calculate this cost of the CPI for the week 2. We can get that by dividing the CPI market base at week 2 to the CPI for the base period, which is the 41.40. So here we have the CPI for that week is 39.60 divided by 41.40 and times 100, we have a 95.7. So from this, we can determine the inflation rate uh, uh, from week 1 to week 2. And the formula we're using is a CPI for week 2 minus CPI for week 1 divided by CPI of week 1, and the result is multiplied by 100. So here we have the inflation rate, which is negative. So we can see that the price was decreasing, and we have a negative inflation rate, which is minus 4.3%, which is deflation when the deflation is negative. And moving on, we are going to determine also the CPI, the Consumer Price Index for week 3. And we know that from the spreadsheet that the cost of the CPI market basket of the week 3 is $38. So when we divide that by the CPI at the base period, we have $38 divided by 41.40, and the result multiplied by 100, we have the CPI of 91.8. So we're gonna use that to determine the inflation rate of week 2 and week 3, which is the CPI of week 3 minus CPI of week 2 and divided by CPI of week 2 and multiplied by 100. So here again, since we see the decrease in the price and we have negative inflation here again, which is minus 4.08%. So again, we have CPI. I'm sorry, we have a deflation. And moving on, we are going to finally determine the CPI of week 4. And from the spreadsheet, we found out that the cost of CPI market basket at week 4 was $40 and 60 cents, which is a little bit increased from week 3. So we're using that to calculate the CPI of week 4, which is 40.60 divided by 41.40, which is the base period, and then multiply by 100, and we have a 98.1. So we're going to use that again to determine the inflation rate for week 2, week 3, and week 4. So we have a 91.1 minus, I'm sorry, 98.1 minus 91.8 divided by 91.8, and all multiplied by 100. Here we have a positive inflation here, 6.9%. So we have inflation. That means the price has increased a little bit from week 3 to week 4. That's what I have about the price index and inflation rate, how I can use my price indexes to determine the inflation rate. And thank you for watching.